Have you ever stopped to think about what it really means to live a normal life? It's this goal we all seem to be chasing, but what is it exactly? Is it just having a good job, a safe place to live? Well, it turns out the answer is way more connected to the city you call home than you might think. Today, we're going to break down the blueprint for what makes a city truly livable. So let's ask that question directly. What does that phrase, a normal life, actually mean to you? Is it about feeling secure? Having opportunities? We all have our own ideas, but there's actually a science to it. And we're going to unpack that whole aspiration today and look at the specific ingredients that make it happen.
All right, so there's actually a term for this whole idea, quality of life. And it's not just some vague, fuzzy feeling. No, it's a real, measurable concept. It's the combination of all the social, economic, and environmental stuff that shapes how we feel about where we live. This is the bedrock for everything we're about to talk about.
Okay, so if quality of life is the destination, who's driving the car? Well, that brings us straight to governance. You can have all the best ideas in the world, but it's good governance that actually turns the concept of a livable city into something real for the people on the ground.
Now, what's really important to understand is what good governance even means. It's not just about keeping the streetlights on. It's about being accountable for your actions, totally transparent with decisions, and actually responsive to what citizens need. It's about making sure things are fair and equitable for everybody, and just running efficiently. These aren't just buzzwords, they're the pillars.
And this slide really shows the massive shift that's needed. The old school way of running a city was reactive, waiting for a problem and then trying to fix it. But modern, effective governance is proactive. It anticipates problems, it uses data to make smart decisions, and, this is crucial, it actually involves citizens in the process. They're partners, not just people who pay taxes.
Okay, with that foundation in place, let's get into the nitty-gritty. We're going to look at 12 key signs of a livable city, and we've broken them down into 3 groups. First up, personal stability. This is all about you, your financial security, your personal safety, your foundation. Indicator number 1 is economic security, and you could argue this is the bedrock of it all. It means having access to stable jobs that pay fair wages. It's about being able to afford not just a place to live, but also a little recreation. It's really the freedom to work and enjoy your life without that constant grinding financial stress. Of course, none of that security is possible without adequate housing. A city just isn't livable if its own workforce, the people who make it run, can't find a decent, affordable place to call home. This means the city needs smart policies that make sure there's enough housing to go around.
And building on that is accessible homeownership. See, it's one thing for houses to exist. It's another thing entirely for people to have a realistic shot at owning one. This means mortgage programs and financial support have to be in line with what regular people are actually earning.
And the last one in this group is macroeconomic stability. I know, this sounds a bit academic, but trust me, you feel it in your wallet. It's the city's job to help control inflation and protect you from those huge sudden spikes in the cost of everything. It's about creating an economic climate where you can actually plan for your future without everything changing overnight.
Okay, let's move on to our next batch of indicators. We've talked about your personal foundation. Now let's look at the city's systems, the actual hardware and software of the city that we all depend every single day. This one might seem like a no-brainer, but it is so important. Everyone needs universal access to the basics. We're talking clean water, power that doesn't go out, decent internet, and good schools from kindergarten right up through university. In a modern city, these are absolutely non-negotiable.
Next up, balanced development. This is all about growing smartly. It means investing in things like trade and transportation in a way that helps the whole region, not just one little pocket. You want to avoid that chaotic situation where one part of the city is booming and another is totally left behind. It's about planned, sustainable growth that benefits everyone. And of course, how do we all get around? Efficient mobility is huge. I mean, nobody's normal life involves being stuck in traffic for 2 hours a day. A livable city is one that's actively trying to cut down on traffic jams and pollution by investing in good, reliable public transit.
Now this one is really interesting. Geographical advantage. This basically means a city is smart about what makes it special. It understands its unique location, its natural resources, and it uses them strategically, not to exploit them, but to build a sustainable economy that plays to its strengths.
All right, on to our final group of indicators. We've covered personal security and the city's hardware. Now we're going to talk about the heart and soul of the city, its community and its resilience. Basically, the social fabric and the ability to bounce back from tough times. Let's be real. A city can't offer a normal life if that life is only available to a select group of people. That's why social justice and equity are so fundamental. It means working towards a fair distribution of wealth, actively fighting against discrimination, and building a place where everyone feels like they belong. Now let's talk about the physical environment we live in. A great city doesn't just have a few parks here and there, it weaves green spaces into its very design. It focuses on sustainable land use and makes protecting the environment a core part of its identity, not just some item on a checklist.
Look, no city is immune to crisis. Floods, pandemics, economic downturns, they happen. The real test of a city is how prepared it is. This indicator is all about having solid plans in place, from a strong healthcare system to shelters and financial help when disaster strikes.
And looking ahead, there's climate change adaptation. A resilient city isn't just waiting for the worst to happen, it's proactive. It's taking real concrete steps right now to lessen the risks from climate change, like preventing people from being forced to move because of environmental threats.
Okay, we just went through all 12 indicators, so this is a perfect time to just pause for a second and think. When you consider these three big areas, your personal stability, the city's systems, and the sense of community and resilience, how does your own city stack up?
So what's the path forward? Well, you can see here it's not just a random list. It's all connected. A diverse economy makes a city stronger. Smart infrastructure supports that economy for everyone. Inclusive policies make sure all people benefit. Climate adaptation protects all those investments for the long haul. And the glue holding it all together? Transparent governance, which builds the public trust you need to get any of it done.
And I think this quote just nails it. A great city isn't some utopia when nothing ever goes wrong. That's not realistic. A truly great city is one that has the strength and the systems in place to take a punch, absorb it, and get back up, all while protecting its people. That is what real resilience looks like. So we'll leave you with this question to think about. Based on everything we've just explored, what's one single action, it could be big, it could be small, that you think could make a real improvement to what it means to live a normal life right there in your own community?